Kamala Harris is leading Donald Trump for the first time in months. New poll. A recent poll conducted by the Wall Street Journal revealed that Kamala Harris, the Democratic candidate in the presidential race, gained a narrow lead over Donald Trump for the first time in 16 months. In a straight comparison between the two candidates, Harris led 48% to 47%. After accounting for independent and third-party candidates, Harris' margin remained at 47% to 45%. This was a big departure from the polling trends, from when Joe Biden was the Democratic contender, when he was always trailing Trump. This survey is a significant turning point for Harris, because the last time a Democratic candidate led was in April of the prior year. Trump was leading Harris by 2 points in a comparable Wall Street Journal survey from only a month prior. Shortly after the Democratic National Convention ended, when Harris was anticipated to gain more support, the most recent survey was taken. She led Trump by over 2 points in the Real Clear Politics polling average, which followed a similar pattern in the Wall Street Journal survey. But in the states that were major battlegrounds, the race looked more competitive. Trump and Harris appeared to be at a standstill in a survey conducted on Thursday by Emerson College Polling /The Hill. Trump led in Arizona, North Carolina, and Wisconsin out of the 7 battleground states polled, while Harris led in Georgia, Michigan, and Nevada. Pennsylvania's tie between the two candidates highlighted how close the campaign was in these key states. Harris' polling numbers remained solid despite Trump's constant assaults on her, indicating possible difficulties for the Trump campaign. Despite Harris's brief tenure as the Democratic nominee, both political parties were making concerted efforts to influence the public's opinion of her. The prior week's Democratic National Convention mostly served as a platform for acquainting the public with Harris. 84% of respondents said they understood enough about Harris to make a firm judgment, whereas 49% thought negatively of her and an equal number thought positively. Conversely, 45% of respondents thought highly of Trump, while 53% thought negatively of him. Based on the survey, the economic statistics was one of the most troubling parts for the Trump campaign. When asked who would manage the economy better, Trump led Harris by 8 points, and he led Harris by 5 points when it came to controlling inflation. But compared to late last year, when Trump was ahead of Biden by over 20 points on both subjects, these leads had shrunk considerably. This suggested that, in spite of the Trump campaign's attempts to associate Harris with the Biden administration's economic policies, she was making progress in this area. Harris' biggest weakness continued to be the state of the economy, as people voiced discontent about the exorbitant prices of housing, petrol, and food. Biden's management of inflation had earned him very negative evaluations, which led to his overall approval ratings. In an interview with CNN on Thursday, Harris defended the government's economic performance, blaming the difficulties on the COVID-19 pandemic's effects and the way the previous administration handled the situation. Harris stressed that the economy had been badly harmed by the epidemic, with millions of jobs destroyed and hundreds of lives lost every day as a result of COVID-19. When she and Biden joined office, "They have to save the American economy first," she claimed. In response to a question concerning the lack of action on the policy initiatives she had supported while serving as vice president, Harris emphasized the importance of the economy recovering and took pleasure in the administration's efforts to lower inflation to less than 3%. Her list of accomplishments also included bringing down the price of insulin, generating over 800,000 new employment in manufacturing, extending the child tax credit, and enhancing the supply chain. The Wall Street Journal survey also looked at how people saw the vice presidential contenders. Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, Harris' running partner, was seen more positively than negatively by a 46% to 40% margin. On the other hand, just 40% of respondents thought highly of Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, while 50% of respondents thought negatively of him.